Welcome to the Main Stage Cast, a podcast about all things competitive Call of Duty, hosted by me, Nate Burleson, alongside Alex Friel. We got a decent amount of things to talk about today. We're on the cusp of the LAG home series to end off the Stage 2 before the major. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. OpTic's playing horrible. Suddenly Rocker's an amazing team. We're going to talk about OpTic being a little problem. We're going to talk about the young guns, Venxm, PaulEhx, Standy coming into the league playing super well. We're going to look forward to Stage 2, and we also need to talk about a certain fast food tier list from a certain player on Atlanta FaZe. So we'll talk about that at the end, but we got a lot to talk about. Alex, how are you feeling about the past weekend of COD?
Not too good, It's sad because in times where it's like OpTic's doing good, I'm like, wow, man, I'm not watching any good COD, right?
Right.
And then in the times where OpTic's doing bad, I'm like, wow, we are seeing some great matches. Minnesota was like the most entertaining team this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Taking both those matches against like good teams. Standy's just like he's literally the MVP right now. Just give it to him already.
Mm-hmm.
Rookie of the year, MVP. SMG of the year.
Right. He's definitely making the case for Rookie of the Year, and that's pretty amazing with some of the rookies that have already been playing for the entire series, like Fire and Neptune. They've been playing the whole time, but when you see Standy come in and make an immediate impact in a team like that, it's just been a lot of fun to watch, really. In my opinion, his style is really fun. He'll die 30, 40 times in a map, but also get 30, 40 kills. He never seems to be a liability, and he always seems to be pushing the pace, and I really think that is what Rocker needed, is someone who could really set the pace, because Attach wasn't really going to do that. And I think Major Maniac and Priesta, they were a little bit too the slower players in the league in their role. And of course, Accuracy has always kind of been known as a slower player. Whatever you want to say. It's different from game to game. It's always different. But he's being considered to be a slower player. So when you bring Standy in, I think you were going to see some kind of improvement. But man, I was not expecting them to beat, first of all, 3-0 OpTic and also beat Empire in that series. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, could we just talk about how they haven't changed the music though, real quick?
Yeah, no, the skr stuff. I don't know. You gotta change it at this point.
I can't take it anymore, dude. I can't take it anymore, man.
Here's the thing. CBS is always gonna play that. That same they're always gonna play that, yeah. But they're not playing it so much because the game happens and it's on the intros and outros you hear and it'll be over, but then with this you hear the whole minute and 20 snippet of the song down. Let's get it.
Yo, wait. If we looked at the audio file of it, do you think it's a minute long song that they just loop? Or do you think they have a 30-minute version? Do you think there's a really long version that exists out there?
Maybe. I could see that being a thing. I don't know. I feel they probably have a preset where they play it before the matches, in between the maps, after the matches. But how are there no more songs? Did they even pay for that? Did they pay for that song to get made? Or did they just find it off of some free royalty free something? I honestly do not know.
I went on YouTube and I was investigating and I looked up CDL skirt song and someone had posted a version of it. But I started reading the comments, right? These delusional ass people yo, does anyone know the name of this song I'm trying to edit on Spotify? But what do you mean? It's literally not even a good song. I'm pretty sure that they had it made for this because it's not a real song. It's just someone saying bounce, let's get it.
Yeah, I honestly
over and over. It's not a real song.
Yeah, there's no start. There's no middle. There's no finish. It's just it's the same 30-second loop, just over and over again. At first it was okay, right? At first it was fine, but you're playing the same song 20 times a day. You're hearing the same soundbite 20, 30 times in a 3-match broadcast. With other with other broadcasts that have those recurring songs, you don't hear it like that. It's not as overbearing, just used all the time. It's pretty awful actually. I don't know. I'm getting kind of sick of watching the whole broadcast. I like the games and I like I think the casters have really improved it this year, and
shout out Miles Ross. Ross, number one caster in the game. So right now,
most improved caster for sure. He's playing. He's doing really well. Even Lando and Studdy are kind of coming into their own. They're kind of starting to get more comfortable with everything. But I don't know, the broadcast itself, we need Land back just to shape up the broadcast, just to shake things up a little bit, because it's really getting old. But you know, we've had some great COD though, so it's not like
Yeah.
the broadcast's been horrible. I mean, I guess we could start by talking really about OpTic and I mean, that's the hot topic. Whenever they start playing
Yeah.
bad, whenever they start playing bad, like the community, like collectively loses its stuff. You know what I mean? Like
True.
nobody knows how to act anymore. Like everything that people have been like bottling up while OpTic's been playing well, like they get to like unleash it all.
Dude,
So like
right?
suddenly they're
Like,
talking
I
about
swear
shit
they've
that
been
happened years
plotting,
ago.
bro. They've been plotting to talk about how bad they're like every time. And it's funny because I remember when we first came into the scene, we lived in a scene where OpTic was not like they were like the most liked team, but like they were never like the championship team. And now,
Right.
after
Yeah.
all
Like
the
in
past
Ghost
years,
and
it's
BO
like,
two.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like as a fan now the standards are just so high. But then we've just as an OpTic
Right.
fan, I'm gonna say we right. It's like, you know, we've been beating on teams for years, Brett, and they've been waiting to talk shit about Scump. They've been waiting to talk shit about Bruce. They've been waiting to talk shit about Formal and the young gun Dylan, the Prince OpTic envoy. Baby, you already know, right? Like he's a
Yeah.
dumbass though because he's from the Illinois public school system. So
He's from the same school system we're from. So
but,
just
yeah,
let that tell you.
OpTic was trending like both days that they played. People just would not let it go. And it's like, I'm looking at the standings right now. And in Group B, you got Dallas at first, Seattle at 2, Florida at 3, right? That's winners. Now, losers is Minnesota, OpTic, and Paris. And OpTic still has 2 matches, so they would just have to pray that, like, Florida and Minnesota don't win. But Minnesota's, who are they? They're playing, like, they've already played Dallas and OpTic, and then they've got to, they're going to win their next match. That's might be OpTic this stage. Damn, that's making me nervous, man. I mean, I think let's talk about why they were just like making the worst decisions in the world. Like, cause you were showing me this.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about this, bro.
Well, like I guess like the really like bad thing that happened against Florida was in the control, because like against Rocker they kind of just got destroyed. You know, they choked the S&D, but they really kind of just were like manhandled, right? But in the Florida series, like it could have probably gone 3-0 their way. Like it probably could have if just a few things like kind of broke their way. Like they were extremely close to winning on like a 3-1, and then they get to like the last round. And they ended up on offense, right, for the last round, and then they just didn't. They got 3 down at one point towards the end of the game. They didn't have the full tick yet on B, but they get 3 down or 2 down. One player hops on the point, and everyone else just kind of like stands around. Formal runs towards the other side of the map, starts looking down A to see if there's like a flank or something. But they only put one person on the point when they could have stacked it and gotten 2 ticks. They probably would have gotten 2 ticks in that time period too. But instead, they don't even get 1. And then they start scrambling. Yeah. They let Florida come back and get the map control. And then, you know, they lose the typical offense round that so many teams lose by like just by being trapped. Like that's simply what happened.
And it's like they could have easily have won. And it's like, I don't know what's going on with OpTic right now, but it's like we're just seeing all these. Sorry if you can hear. There's like lawn care workers outside blowing leaves or some shit. What the hell? Oh, they're in my driveway. That's nice. Oh, but my driveway actually looks pretty clean now. So that's kind of cool.
Decent.
But OpTic, you know, it's like these are guys that it's just like when you think about them, you never think of like you never think they're gonna lose because of like fundamental mistakes, right? Like that, right? Like you expect them to lose just because they get like shit on by Hook or like like Simp or something, just like someone shits on
them. Or
a
player has a bad game, like
Dashy
and
like no one really had a bad game. They just didn't play, like they didn't make the right decisions. It was kind of awkward to be honest. Like watching like Dashy and Formal do the things they did in some of those maps.
I mean, like Dashy was struggling like a little bit, like in terms of like the hard point against Rocker. Yeah. And he started like 3-11 or something like that. Like he was struggling a little bit, and I honestly like. It's not that he's bad now because he has no XM4, right? It's not like the XM4 makes him like a mate. Like it's just that he's so good with the XM4 that he's gonna look worse when he gets put onto like a different weapon. Because I'm sure he had a little. I'm sure it's also just like day to day, like just play different in COD. It doesn't mean that he sucks now. Like I saw so many overreactions. Like the team does not need a roster change.
Get rid of Dashy.
No, they do not need a roster change. Who could you plug in?
Who would they even pick up for OpTic? Like think about it. Like
it's
a
top
OpTic,
AM.
Dude.
Like do you pick up a top AM, something like that? Like you don't make
10,
any.
Bro.
No, like are you serious? There's no one to pick up to put in this like. Yeah, there's nobody to
Major
put in.
Maniac.
Yeah. Who do you put into the OpTic lineup to make them better? Like
Mox?
You would have to get like you'd have to get
Roto,
like
Pander.
You'd have to get like Simp, Abizi, like Celium,
Right,
like
or, like,
Arcity. You have to get someone
OpTic.
from FaZe. You gotta like you gotta go poach someone from like Dallas if you really want to get like better players, better individual players. But like I don't know what OpTic's. I mean, like we don't even know if OpTic has like a problem. They could have just had a bad weekend. So I mean, we'll see how everything like kind of shapes out for them. But like I don't know, they might not be in the winners bracket, and that could be awful for them. Just catch them on the wrong day, and they get like 7th or 8th in the tournament. It's not gonna look good.
Well, and we got to give credit where it's due because Minnesota like played so differently, and this was like our first time seeing like the new look rocker, and so Standy, it's like it's like a fast moving, young paced gun. Like for some reason the young guys are just cracked and move faster and go around the map more. So they were like, we need that, right? Priesta moves kind of into that AR role, but he's still a faster player than Mike. So like, it's like maybe he's not a better like main AR, but that doesn't really seem like what they need right now because they do have Lamar, and Lamar played pretty good this week. You got to give it to him. The Iceman was showing out a little bit, beaming, but him and Priesta have been good in those roles. Attach, I think it's easier for him to work as a sub when he doesn't have to be like that main slayer like running around, which they've got Standy doing. And I mean, you saw the play Standy was making. Like he was just piecing them, and he literally looks like one of the best SMGs like in the game already.
No, he's looking like he's having that. He's looking like he's having that kind of like Mac effect that we saw last year, where he comes in and like he's just playing very well, just outslaying the competition, like looking like the best player on the map, and it's allowing like the more supported players around him to do things. Like last year, like with New York at the time, like who like it was like Sim,
like, they went from like zero to like silly and
they had a Sim playing pretty well. Wait, no, not Sim.
No,
who
they
was
didn't
on
have
their
a
team?
Sim. He was on Minnesota.
No. Who was even on that team? I was thinking about Temp. I was thinking about Temp. My bad.
Zuma, Lamar, Temp, Attach, and then they had Zero, and then they had Happy, and then they had
Doug.
No, they never actually played with Doug. They just had him on
Right,
the
but they
roster.
had him.
Yeah, because they wanted him to be a content creator, and he thought he was going to play. He deadass thought he was going to get a shot. He went on Stay Attach's podcast, and talked about it, and was talking about
so he was
every team. He talked about how every team has fucked him over because they've told him that he's going to get a shot, and then never has. And he keeps wondering why he just doesn't get his shot, and I'm like,
they're just using him for his name. It's kind of messed up. You know what I mean? They're just using him for his name.
They should use him for his skill, bro. He fries.
Hey, he was playing on 5 MS, and now he's playing on 1 MS. He's probably frying now.
You're right, though, because they did bring Mac in, and then that made them a way better team instantly because Temp and Attach and Zuma, who were like their subs at the time, like those guys aren't going to be like running around.
Teams
and,
were just moving around so much last year that I honestly have forgotten about so many of the different lineups that there were last year.
It's so funny because it's like, how could you judge making a roster change last year, right? Because at least this year you play every team. Last year you go to an 8-team tournament and let's say you get second, right? Like you're paid and you get second to Empire, but there was no FaZe, no Huntsman, no any other good teams, right? Like all the other teams were gone. Are you do we make a roster change or are we good? Because you have no clue how it's going to be. At least this year, it's you're bad if you're bad. So Minnesota knew they had to make a change and they did that.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, we thought Seattle was bad, and look how well Seattle was playing.
Yo, I don't know what's going on.
Because the players were never bad on Seattle. Just the way that they were coming together and the results that were happening were bad. Nobody could ever deny the skill of the players on Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can't deny the skills, although Looney still did really get shit on by Shotzi on Miami, though. That was the least skillful moment of the league.
That might be his low. That's probably his low point, and if that's his low point in the first match on the second
if it can't get worse than that,
who cares? It'll get better for him. And I mean, they were playing pretty well. We saw some good things because the meta's changed.
Yeah,
clearly, very clearly the meta's changed, and some teams are benefiting from it. I think Seattle is one of those teams. They really are benefiting from it.
Seattle's been playing very well. I think that, now, it's just even weirder now because we're getting a huge update today. I haven't installed. I'm waiting to go play it. People are talking about what gun is everyone using. So Lord knows what will happen.
Who knows? We could see. Two Milanos.
What it was with Seattle, and maybe it was the different maps because I did see them playing Express, which they played pretty good on. But I mean, Octane, I think just didn't play as good at the beginning of the year for some reason, but it's just really been turning up now. It's been playing faster, and it's just easier for everyone else to play around him. So I mean, I think we'll continue to see success from them, and I'm excited to see them start. If they can in winners bracket in this
Hmm.
in the next major, because it's like, can we actually see a team like Seattle make it? And they almost beat Dallas, right? Like it was like Game 5, Round 11. It should not even have gone that far. I think Seattle should have won. They just made a few bad plays, right? Not like not like OpTic bad. Like
Right.
OpTic made like really bad plays, but
Game losing
I
plays.
think
Yeah.
Seattle, like low key, it's like when people want to talk about a dark horse, like I think that's a team that, like, when it gets to tournament time, like why not,
Hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, like, let's see, like the standings right now are pretty interesting because like in Group B you have 3 teams that are 2-1.
Yeah.
You got like, I mean, everybody's lost in that group. Like, FaZe is like looks like the only untouchable team right
Yeah.
now. Like, to be completely fair, like, I don't know. Like, OpTic, they're gonna have to pull something out here if they wanna make it up into the top group because they play their matches this week are the top 2 teams, Dallas and Surge, right? Like, those are the top 2 teams in the group right now, and they have to find a way to beat them. So if they do win that, they would end up like 3-2, and that would automatically give a loss to Empire and Surge. So if they win both, they could actually like get first in the group.
That's
If it comes down to
they
it,
would
like,
have the tiebreaker,
Mhm.
right?
They could do it. Like, it could still end up being that their match against Dallas is like the match for the group. And that is given that they don't lose to Surge. So if they
Yeah.
beat Surge, they do kind of control their own destiny in a way. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's not over for them. It's not chalk. Like, they have a few more chances this next weekend. So
So has Dallas only lost to Atlanta and Minnesota? Because they lost to
Yeah.
Minnesota
Yeah.
in like stage 1.
yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's the only 2 teams they've lost.
Wow,
to.
dude, that's
That's
Dallas's
their
boogeyman.
That's their kryptonite, man. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
attach.
I think like because it's really interesting because, like, all right, so like they're like FaZe and Dallas, I assume they'll be going to winners round 2, like,
Mhm.
but then it's like OpTic and it's like with all the teams in Group B, like the way they're playing, besides Paris, sorry Paris, like this time around I don't have as much faith, which is
They're struggling a little bit.
tough,
Now.
yeah, it's tough out here, but whatever. But like OpTic, imagine them starting in a limb round 1, right? Like.
And
What the
that would
fuck?
be, I mean, that would be horrible for him. You know, like, that
Imagine
would be,
they play like Thieves round 1.
oh
like,
my, like,
what?
that's very plausible. Like, Thieves or LA,
Well, exactly. Like
Toronto
anything
could
can
even
happen.
drop down there. Like,
I mean, we don't want that to happen, but it could.
yeah, I mean, that'd be bad for the league because they'd be like, oh, shit, 2 of the teams that pull in the most viewership in the first round, like knockout, like,
One of them's gonna be out.
yeah,
Oh,
for like
God.
the next,
Yeah, you know what?
for
I
the
think
next
they
4
should
days.
rig it a bit
yeah.
more. I think we need to go more into like the rigging things so that we can.
You want the best possible matchups?
Yeah.
Spicy
I just want
storylines?
like the FaZe, OpTic. Like, have we even gotten that? Besides their one group match. And
No.
whatever.
No, I don't
You know
think we
what?
have.
All right,
Man,
but-
our memory sucks. Like, our collective
Yeah.
memory, like, it's horrible.
Dude, you know what?
but, like,
It's tough, but I do remember what I wanted to talk about now. I wanted to talk about how long is it before the whole league gets like replaced? Because
Mhm. But yeah.
Venom's pretty good. PaulEhx is literally their like London's best player by
This
pretty far.
next off season could be the chopping block. Like, it could be the
Dude,
guillotine
right? Like,
for a
dude,
lot
if
of these
there's
old
n-
pros,
if
man.
there's no expansion, like the thing is, if there's expansion and I'm like a pro who like
Yeah.
is worried about my spot, I'm heading up to New Oregon being like, yo, like let me pick my team.
Yeah,
like,
they're gonna
me
let
do
them
a-
eat.
Like, right? Like
Some-
I'll get young guys. Like I swear, like it'll be fine. Like just let me keep my job. Like
Right.
I won't play with the boomers. But I think like, dude, like once like PaulEhx
Very-
is like, dude, I'm dropping these guys. Like, why wouldn't he go pick up young guys from like EU challengers even, right? Like, because there's pretty good guys there.
There's
like,
no way Hydra's sitting on the bench on like some challenge.
Oh,
team.
no.
There's no way
Yeah,
that
I mean-
Zaptia, Sibilance, like, there's no way these players are sitting in challengers for
Tom
another year.
Gravity, bro.
Like, I'd quit at that point because, like, at that point, like, it just shows that the
Well-
Call of Duty League is a friend league. Like, it's not gonna let like the
Yeah,
young
because
talented players
like
in.
they're definitely better than like some of the players in the
No,
league.
definitely, they're definitely better than some of the players in the league. Like, just some pure skill. Like, maybe like there's other factors. Obviously, it's not
Yeah.
just all gunny that's gonna get players like wins. But like at the same time, like some of these young players, like they're panning out. Like Standy coming in and doing what he's doing is like
Yeah.
great for the challengers scene because maybe other orgs are gonna be like,
Yeah.
why'd we pick up these guys? Like I mean,
And
we don't
and
even need
our-
to name any names.
we used
like
to we used to talk about like when is like Wester gonna remember when Wester was like the
Yeah,
dominant
remember
team?
Wester won
That's like
four
all we had
straight
to talk
cups.
about.
Yeah,
Like yeah,
they won four
I
straight
mean,
cups, and we were like, oh man,
like
like
when they're waiting
these
for their
four could be
shot.
top five in the league themselves. Like, is that even
It's so
possible?
funny.
But like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
know.
they waited for good opportunities, but I think like what was so unexpected with the Standy pickup is like when you hear about a pickup like that or like a young player or something like that, you expect it to be like a shit team or like a lower tier team with like not as many good players. Like the
Right.
fact that a young player like Standy got an opportunity to play with players like the likes of Attach and Prieston, Lamar, the Iceman, Accuracy, Abedi, like the fact that he got that opportunity, like didn't his team literally just win the Challengers Cup? Like, what didn't his team win that weekend? Like, on some, like
Yeah,
literally
they
won
won or
and
got
then
to
they
the
like
Ram finals for
disbanded.
sure. Yeah,
They were
like
playing with Jimbo, bruh, and then they had to
yep.
play with Decimate, and then they won.
I mean like it's like a solid like I mean like there's so many solid players at challengers that are just unproven because they haven't had the chance and like
Yeah.
now they don't get the chance to go like they don't get the chance that you would get in the CWL like something like Midnight like
Yeah, where it's like,
Genji,
you
like, all these
play into
teams
the
that
league
like
type
jump
shit.
into the league and like everyone's like wow these guys are young but they're also pretty cracked like they also like don't get to prove it on LAN too right now which I think might be one of the biggest factors because nobody in the profession I don't think like there's so many pros right now like in the professional scene who are at the top and have been competing at the top for so long they're like why like I've proven it on LAN I've proven it offline like local area network I've proven this like why should someone who's never won on LAN replace someone who is a proven LAN winner it doesn't make any sense right from the pro perspective but at the
Yeah.
same time like we're in such a weird scenario right now where the past year and like the past over
Has
a
all been
year
online.
has just been completely online. Like they've only been able to play online and prove themselves online.
Yeah.
So like how can we sit here and like still think like oh you gotta prove it on LAN if you want to be on Standy like is Standy proving it on LAN? No, but like look he comes in he makes an immediate impact and they beat two of the top 4 teams in the league like that is like impact like that is impact right now that makes your team like a better team makes your team more money like makes your team just overall like a better organization is by picking up players like that and making it that can make a difference but I mean I do understand though where the pros come from where they're like if these guys haven't proven it on LAN why should they get 70 why should they replace me like
this may be a hot take. That's a total bullshit cop out. In my
right
opinion.
now
That's a
no
total,
right
that's
now
a total
it's
bullshit
probably
cop-out
is
for them to keep
but
their spots.
what about 2 years ago though would you say it's a bullshit cop out 2 years ago when there's no
Yeah,
like
it probably is, bro.
you think like I just feel like I need to see some shit on LAN like at this point I need something on LAN to like really get to like know who's better who's best at the game
the last real LAN game like how do you what is even proving yourself on LAN because
well it
OpTic
used to
won
be
Vegas,
like
right? OpTic won Vegas, so OpTic won an event. Then LG won like Dallas or whatever. They won an event, right?
Mhm.
E United won an event, and 100T won an event, and feel like I'm missing like one other team. Like I'm pretty sure only like 4 or 5 teams.
well yeah and then
won
we had
events the whole year,
right well
So
then there were a
even
few
is,
like
proving yourself on LAN at this point.
well like I feel like back then like back in like Ghost and like AW like it was just like your internet like was such like a like people really only thought about LAN like LAN was like where the money was made because you won prize money and that was the only thing that was the only thing you could feed yourself with back then it's like
True.
winning on LAN like I mean there were some people could make a lot of money off of online tournaments but like then you were still an onliner until you did it on LAN you were still a warrior you were still just like nothing like but now I feel like you can't just be like oh you got to prove it on LAN because nobody has the chance to prove it on LAN against the top players anymore because the top players are in their own little bubble and they can't be affected by a young team coming in from losers from open bracket and sweeping them in the groups like nobody can worry about that anymore so once you're in the league you got money locked up for the next year so you essentially just have to prove yourself stay around don't burn any bridges and you'll be in the league for and if you keep up like just a minimum level of skill you will be able to be in the league for years like that should be how it goes for people but then like even Methods who makes so many relationships and most of the other I'm pretty sure I mean I don't know every pro but like most pros like him like and he still gets dropped like there's no real like
Insight's nasty.
Insight is nasty
Insight's kind of gross, man. Insight's kind of gross.
Insight's pretty good, man. We didn't even mention him earlier when we were talking about like the young guns that were coming out, which is a little disrespectful. But like, I mean, he's good. Like he set the kill record, and that's
good. But they're not gonna. they're not gonna like win anything.
True. It's
See,
also like the
like,
team hasn't like, gotten a lot
to
better.
me,
So
it's like how does Insight make Ultra better? It's like, you know what Ultra should do is like drop everyone besides him and let him just pick up good players, right? Like,
I mean, I
like
don't
at
know.
this point,
Cammy and
like,
Kleenex
see,
are great.
it's but the problem is, well, actually, yeah, I do like Kleenex line, and
Hmm.
Cammy's pretty good, and Vance has been decent. But like the thing is, it's like it's also just tough because at the end of the day, sports is a business, so like you're really taking like a brand risk as well
Right.
when you go for like a player with like no interactions on socials or anything. Like you know, you get like a Lumiere for Steam, that's a free like however many thousands and hundreds thousands of followers they got, right? Like
Right.
you already know that's guaranteed. Like you pick up Standy as Minnesota, you're like shit, like, you know, he's probably got like 10K followers or some shit. Like at the time they pick him up, it's
Right.
like,
But
you
I
know,
mean,
real
Minnesota's
people
done a
like him, but
right.
like no, their social media is good.
Minnesota does a good job of like hyping their player up. Like he was like as soon as he got signed, you know, he was on like their podcast that they do.
Yeah.
Like he was all over their socials, all over everything. They really like hyped him up, and they were like, you know, this guy's gonna come in and make our team better. He comes in, and he makes the team better. So I mean, that's exactly what you want to see. That's the gold standard of picking up AMs.
When I see trends on Twitter that are related to the COD League, I'll see like FaZe, Empire, OpTic, Scump, Formal,
Right.
Cold War. I'll get like any of those, and Standy trending was like the first time I got something that was like that wasn't like a regular trend, but was like, and it was like a bigger trend because it had even like the title. It was like OpTic Chicago loses 3-0 in the CDL to like
Right.
rookie player Standy on the Minnesota. Like it was like an official like trending thing, and I was like, damn, like motherfuckers talking about Standy. So I think that, and with like PaulEhx and Venxm, you know, people are talking about. I think it's just like. I just think it's a matter of time, man. Until like, if I'm a GM, bro, I'm like, yo, I'm cooking, bro. I'm like, I'm getting the best challengers team, like Wester, like those. That would have been my squad at the beginning.
Oh no, I agree. Like I feel like I would like I'd want some of these guys like now. Like if I'm you know, Toronto, they've already made a change, but like, you know, if I'm Florida, if I'm Paris, if I'm like, I mean, Paris probably, I don't know if Paris has the money to go spend on another player. 'Cause I'm pretty sure Theory is their sub. I'm pretty sure Theory is still their sub. They're all on minimum. I'm pretty sure they're all on minimum contracts. Like I don't know. Like Paris won't make a change, right? But like I feel like they can at least contend with the current.
Yo, do they give a shit?
What, like Paris?
Like Paris as an org?
No,
like,
I mean, I'm sure
Paris,
they care.
Like the org.
I'm sure they
remember when
care.
they didn't tweet for like 2 months?
Yeah, but like they had nothing to tweet about. You know, there was nobody on their roster. Like,
bruh.
Like there was nothing to. What are they gonna tweet about? Like, you know, hey guys, we still suck. We still have nobody notable on our roster. We, you know, I mean, like, I think some of the players too are on a new note. I feel like some of the players who got a chance last year, like I mean, Decimate, Smart, like Spart, they were on rosters. You know, GodRx playing pretty well now. Like they're all. I feel like a lot of those guys will hopefully get another chance. I hope that they don't get kind of pushed out because they were already in the league and they play very well.
It's like I don't think there was like a they failed kind of like outlook.
Yeah, right. And look how well Spart's playing right now. You know, look how well Saints is playing right now. Like everyone on NYSL Academy. And then like look at LAG Academy, who didn't even place top 32 once in challengers. I'm pretty sure. Like
they got like one top 8. They got like one top 8.
And now they're changing their team up, man. But like. So the money goes behind that team, and they don't perform at all. Like Zaptius has said, Zaptius on Wester, like one of the best AM players over the last year. He said he hasn't gotten any money from any org over the last year. You know, all the money he makes is from like streaming, winnings. Maybe sponsorship. Like I don't even think he streams that much. So I think it's like mainly just like winnings, like sponsorships if he has any.
Which is tough.
Yeah, like, and that's tough. And like they finally got They finally got a weekend off in challengers this weekend. This upcoming weekend they're not playing because of Easter.
Haggy said we want off for Easter, bro.
Yeah, and like it's kind of ridiculous that they're expected to play like every weekend like that. Like if you want to be an top AM, you have to treat it like a full-time job, but it won't pay you like a full-time job. It won't give you benefits like a full-time job. Yeah. It won't, like, it's all like based off your own skill. Like it's all based off of random shit. You got to rely on 3 other teammates to be great if you really want to make it, because nobody makes it with a bad team in challengers. You know what I mean? Like it's like they find like a group of like 4. If they can find a group of 4 guys who will stick with you for just 3 cups, like that's gold. You know, like just having players that will stick together for like more than a week, like that's gold. That's gold already in challengers. Like the life as a challengers player right now, like it has to be rough. So that's why there needs to be. That's another reason there just needs to be more. Like there needs to be more in more opportunities for them to get into the league, because right now there's really nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's really just like you get lucky and get picked up. Like not even lucky. I wouldn't even say lucky, but like you get scouted for some reason. Like Standy has been good enough to play in the CDL since the beginning of the game. Sibilant's been good enough to play in the CDL since the beginning of the game. Venxm, PaulEhx, like they're all good enough.
PaulEhx has been like the best main AR and challengers, like one of the better ones in the league.
There are so many players who are like just ready and like good enough to be in the league. There's just no spot for them. It's like
even Major Maniac could go just grab another spot, like if someone wanted him.
You don't think Major Maniac would be like an improvement in like Florida or like Paris or like LA, like even like LA?
Right, like a team with like a weaker AR, like if you picked up Major Maniac,
he could definitely be like he could definitely add to a lot of these teams, but like I don't know, they're just not. And I mean, one thing we should probably talk about is like the performance of LA Thieves, because like obviously like their roster change, they made a roster change. So you wouldn't expect them to get better immediately. But then you see what Minnesota does. Minnesota comes out playing well, but then Thieves come
beating
out.
2 of the 3 best teams.
Right. But then Minnesota Thieves come out.
London 3-0.
Yeah, like it's a rough time right now.
It's tough because LA Thieves is just like, they always preach about like we're just like competing for championships, and it's like, that they're probably just like hating the position they're in right now. Like think about Slasher, dude. Like he knows they have a good team, and they've seen like those glimpses of like we can be good, but like, dude, I have no clue what happened against LAG at the first major, like when they were playing in that winners round 1, like. How the fuck did they get 3-0, dude?
LA, they woke up.
Right?
They
woke up for that match.
They were
like
frying, man. They were playing some of the best COD of their lives. Like, and they got world champions on that team. But like, I don't know what.
I got 3 of the 44 boots. Damn, bro, I can't even say all that anymore, bro. They ain't showing enough for me to like talk about them like that.
Now they're 0-3. Like. They don't look like they're gonna
win. How
win.
did they even make it to winners like last time?
They just kind of pulled it together. They were in a bit of a.
Yes, yeah.
I think they were in a bit of a weak group. I mean, both of these groups are pretty solid. Like, I wouldn't say like either of these groups is like a group.
Okay, all right, I got a question. All right, think about it. We're going back to LAN, right? Who are 3 players all time? Anytime you want to see. Like, you wish you could see in the CDL, like, talking shit on the main stage. Like, dude, because, like, who are any time, like, all-time players, like, you could do anybody.
Wait, like who, like, would come on to LAN and play now?
Yeah,
I get to listen to them talk
shit? Like, anybody.
Bro, I would want some of the kings of talking shit. Nameless, Neslo, and Killa.
Sit down, you fucking fan.
I can't believe, dude, I would want to see, I want to honestly Neslo back on LAN. Like he just got so hyped. Like he just got, he had a lot of energy. Everyone on, dude, that TK team from like BO2 and like Ghost, like Goon was like.
I got the controller.
Yeah, like they get hyped. They were like standing up. My favorite was like the round wouldn't even be over yet, and like there'd be 3. Yeah, no, there's 3 players like standing up, getting hyped, and then the guy who's defusing is like.
Yeah, right. Like
making sure he doesn't he's got his finger glued to the button. Like they're He's making sure he's diffusing, but like the other 3 players are up, like already cheering. Like my favorite is when they used to be just like literally across from each other. Like they probably heard each other's call outs the entire time. You know what I mean? Like they probably heard all that stuff. But,
like back when Nameless was telling people that he hates you, and you.
Yeah, but if I could have,
I'm eating you alive.
I'm eating you alive is one of my favorite. I love saying that shit whenever I'm doing well in the game. I'm eating you alive.
Yeah.
Like, he's a trendsetter Nameless.
All right. Yo, we need Study back. Mm-hmm. Study, underrated trash talker and player. He was not afraid back in the day. He didn't give up. See, that's the thing. Back in the day, like no one was like the shit. Right? Because even if you were on like the top team, you had just as much money as the next guy besides your winnings, right?
Besides Miracles, that's a chance. Look at my bank account. Look at my bank account.
Mir was gonna be my next one, bro. We need Mir, bro, because Mir just has like all the goat. Like when he said you're wearing your dad's coat from Salvation Army or whatever, like he was just going at Hilton.
Oh,
shout out Hilton. Yo, Hilton is the best.
This is my build. This is my building. When they were just in like they were in like
my building. Welcome to my city.
When they were in just like a normal ass Hilton in the bottom in like the basement, and he's like he's just like I'm pretty sure his like last name also was like Hilton or something like that. But like I don't know, I can't even
That's
remember.
like why his name was Hilton.
Yeah,
or
but he was
shit.
just like it's my building. You know, you see the name out front. Like he's wearing just like a jacket that is just way too big. Like the jacket was like,
fuck.
I think the sleeves were like going over his hands. Like I think it was like something
Yeah.
like that. But like man, like,
Chalk.
it was kind of sad. But like I remember, I just want to see like some admin having to like. Some like tourney admin having to go over and just being like, "Shut up, guys! Shut up and play the match." Like, what do you got? That's the kind of stuff I want to see. But like, nah. I mean, we won't get that good trash talk anymore.
Bro, we
I
need,
feel
we
like,
need
you know,
Madcap, bro.
right?
Like,
we just
need
like
that.
we need that good like trash talk back. Like I'm not even
Bro,
saying that like
we
the super
had
messed
it.
up stuff that people used to say, but like when we go back to
no,
LAN,
that's
what-
like kind of weird.
Well, when we go back to LAN, like we will actually have like no, like but like people don't know this maybe, but they haven't like if they've only been watching COD for a few years. But like back in like if you like were like, hey man, maybe a player shouldn't tell another player to get raped whenever they kill them in a game. Like maybe they shouldn't tell them that. Like that's a little messed up. And then people would be like, come on, bro, you're soft, bro. Like that was like the majority of opinion would be like, you're soft, bro. Just like they can say whatever they want. But it's COD, bro.
It's kind of weird to tell someone
like,
that.
now
What are you talking about, dude?
Because now when like people say like, oh, these kids wouldn't last in MW2 lobbies, like now they say that, but like that was just the reality like back in BO2 because like it was like MW2 was like 2 years ago, like it was all like 3-4 years ago. It was like all the same people talking shit. Like it's the same people in the scene now.
I was still on game chat like just talking shit to kids like you know, different games have like different liveliness, you know, like BO2 and MW2 were very alive games when you were in pubs. Like you were never gonna be in a lobby where like someone wasn't talking shit.
No, exactly. Well, like,
dude, I feel like that's so important, man. Like, because it's like when I watch these broadcasts online, you know, I just think like, damn, I miss LAN. Like, not even just for like, not because I haven't even been to a LAN, right? But like, even the broadcast is just so much better when you hear the crowd and like it cuts to them and they're not sitting at their desk. Like, you see Scump and Form again, I'll be like,
yeah, right.
Trash.
Getting the crowd hype. The one good thing.
The best in the game.
The one good thing about having online is that like the crowd can't give away plays. Like every time OpTic's playing and someone hops on the bomb, he's on the bomb, bro. Yeah, but like every time like OpTic would be playing another team in S&D and the other team hops on the bomb, everyone they're on the bomb. Yo, they're on the bomb.
I can't remember who was on the team. It was in Ghost. It was on Octane, and it was the bomb and under the hotel thing, right? And
yeah.
I think it was Slacked and Slasher maybe. And Benson's like, oh my god,
yeah, he screamed.
And fucking Slack just starts sprinting over the bomb.
he turned immediately.
And it was like round 11. It was like literally to lose the game. It was literally to lose the game, dude.
Yeah,
I felt so bad.
Fist for throne, and then
ever since then, Benson, when there's like a crazy, he's like, oh my god, like he whispers it instead, like he doesn't want to like. He's like, somebody's going to be planting the bomb right now.
To be
like,
fair though,
stream it.
to be fair though, if we go back to LAN, we don't have to worry about Benson giving away any plays because, you know.
Benson's gone.
Yeah, sadly. I mean, I miss him.
He's just there. He runs a talent agency, man.
He does. He
left on his own decision.
Yeah. I remember when he was like teasing that he was like he was just fucking with people because people were like thinking that he was gonna go to the MLS and like become a commentator there, and he was just like messing with people about it. Like I don't even know, but like I hope he's doing well. I think
he's British, doesn't mean he knows about soccer.
Hey, I don't know, man. If you tweet him about soccer, he will respond because he probably thinks like anyone else's opinion's like shit. Like I've seen him get into big fights on Twitter.
Yo, we need more Bryce-tacular.
Yeah, Bryce. And, like, there's not. I mean, hey, we've been talking.
We're gonna be watching LBSD today. We're gonna be watching OpTic vs Empire.
Right, but we've been.
It sounds so nasally.
But we've been talking about how all these young players need to get picked up. But there's some young casters that need to get picked up.
Yo, for real, bro. Can we just give a shout out to the challengers team?
Yeah, I will ship.
Over there.
Prosper. I don't. Visions. Like all these people are really talented. They're really doing it.
Putting in the work. Not getting like paid by the league to my knowledge. Yeah, I think the league's more like associated with it now, and they've made like a dedicated challengers.
The league will like operate it. Yeah, the league will like operate it from like just like a, I don't know, from like a very kind of hands off thing. But they also do like set the rules, like organize the tournaments. Like it is Activision that organizes all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, like the stream itself is a community stream. So like, I mean, and like it's not even the. I mean, there's so many names I would name. Like you find them all on Twitter, but like even like the production staff is really good for it. They also respect the AM scene. They won't show like the mini map during the S&D games. Like they're pretty good. They're good people. I like seeing those community streams really take off. But I mean, I would like to see iHold shift in the league. I mean, if they have the money, the money to hire extra casters at one point, maybe going into next year, like I'd love to see iHold shift in the league.
I think it's like there's so much that could be improved about the league from like not even like a gameplay, but just like everything else, right? Like we love the players. At first I was a little bit confused about the franchising, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what team is this?
Yeah,
and
I mean, I still don't.
Right,
and I still don't really like franchising, but like at the same time, like I've accepted.
At this point, it's like now I think everyone's on the same page about teams and orgs and blah blah blah. Like, so it's like that, and they all have got pretty good branding as of right now. I don't think there's like a team that like needs to change their logo,
right?
At least this year. But like, I think like. Those are, I don't know if those are things they think about or not, but like, dude, like when they brought Jess Brohard, like, I don't know if it's because she's just more bad than Lottie, and I don't know if that's misogynistic to say, like, or like weird because it's like, but we are gamers, right?
They're both very talented. They're both very good.
Hey,
I think they've been.
I'm not saying they're not talented, but
there's
look,
space for both of them, man. There's space for both of them.
I got Avengers bed sheets, right? So you already know I'm never talking to girls, right? So when I go on stream and I see Lottie with like the shoulder pad shirt, I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? You know what I'm saying? But then when I see Jess Brohard and she's like, hey, right? I'm like, all right. I'm with it.
They're both really talented. Like, I mean, we don't talk about like the way that like the male casters look. Like, I'm not saying like Study
Miles
has
is
like
sexy as hell. Bro.
I'm liking Miles' beard.
Hey,
man.
we
I
gotta
like
talk
Miles'
about how the
beard.
male casters look, bro. We got is compliments, bro.
Yeah, I see too many people in the YouTube chat being weirdos whenever like Lottie or like Jess are on the screen. I'm like, yo, where are the weirdos when like Miles is on there, man?
Hottie for Lottie.
Nah, man, I'm talking about. We need to start some stuff for Miles.
Dude, I'm down,
for Chance. Bro. Like that's what we need to do. We gotta turn the gaming community away from being like weird about like about weird.
Like, I don't think it is weird. Like I think maybe the way I'm presenting it is weird. Well, no,
like,
there's gonna be people that are weird about it.
Well, I see where
like,
you're coming from.
But
you're also not in the YouTube chat saying like all the weird stuff that people say.
Sure, I am not spamming the chat the whole time.
Not,
like, I really only enjoy copy pastas
like,
that
it's
are
not
funny.
Either like people are bold. They will be like in their Twitter replies. Like I'm like, dude, I don't understand. Like these people are like Lottie and like Jess and them. Like they're tough because like I don't think I could be on Twitter every day like getting like added by creepy ass motherfuckers. Like creepy motherfuckers like in their responses all the time. I don't know what you're supposed to do there. Like the league is like you can't even really monitor it. Like you gotta block. You can block people, but like there's only so many like times that you could block people because you've still got to see all the vile shit that they're tweeting at you when you block them. But like I don't expect the gaming community to ever grow up in that kind of way. Like, and I'm saying like Twitch chat will always spam whenever there's girl. Because like if it was sports, like you see it happen with sports like people all the time. Like Doris Burke will be on the call and like there would be a bunch of Twitter replies like Doris Burke, like you know what I mean? Like it's gonna happen. Like it's sad, but like it happens all over the internet. It's exactly what I'm saying, man. Like,
all I'm saying is when they bring out Alley Power, right? Or Allie LaForce, right? Allie LaForce, right? Isn't that?
Let's steer the conversation somewhere else.
Allie LaForce, right? And who's the other person they be bringing out? Fuck, why can't I think of her name? She's on NBA TV.
Kristen
she's really
Ledlow?
cool. She's really good. Yes, she's so good. She's good, and she's also beautiful. So. Wait, just Brohard streams COD. Bro, imagine her chat. Yo, Twitch.
I feel bad, man. I don't know. Like, those mobs have to be working overtime in any of those chats for any like female streamer. Like those mods got to be working overtime. But like, here, let me steer this into the next way. Well, let's roast Celium of the Atlanta FaZe.
Wait. Before we can do that, I just want to say one thing. All right, I tuned in, and I was like, I didn't look at chat for a while, right, when I was watching the other day. And then I look at chat, and I saw this. Everyone's spamming this copy pasta. Wow, you guys are so childish, always spamming copy pasta. There was like a copy pasta about not spamming them. But that's all I gotta say. Yeah, now we can talk about that. Because that's probably the main thing we're gonna talk about today,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Like,
yes. This is
we've
the
been
most
going for
important
44 minutes,
topic.
but now we're at the main topic.
Let's hop into this main topic, this main idea. This is something I saw on Twitter last night, and then you messaged me about it, and we hadn't even talked about it yet. But like, so this is Celium's tier list of fast food places. He must not be from anywhere like out east or in the Midwest because he's never had Jersey Mike's. But I hope he changes that at one point because that is a dominant sandwich place. Can't lie. I'd say Carl's Jr. Like I don't think he's missing out. You know, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that shit trash, bro.
Yeah, he's not missing out. The number like the two things that hopped in my head immediately was like Domino's is not that bad compared to the other fast food pizza chains. It's probably the best fast food pizza you could get.
No, I think that like convenience and taste, like, what beats that?
Oh no, like Domino's is good, and they switched up their game like a few years back. They switched up their game, and it was pretty good. Like honestly, one of the best like rebrands in fast food history. But I mean, this isn't a fast food podcast, but I mean, Loki might have to start one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, I just think it's like kind of weird the ones that he put like as high as they did, like Arby's and KFC and like Caesar's, Sonic, like Jack in the Box, Burger King, like that shit can all just be like in D, like regardless, you know. Like I feel like he forced putting things in places above where they really should be, unless he really enjoys Burger King more than Domino's or Sonic. But that's like really weird to me.
I don't think Sonic is that bad either. You ever had Sonic? Sonic's pretty good. Like you get the I never really go there for the food. I get the ice cream, man. The ice cream there, fire. They got all these different types of ice cream, bro. I'm telling you, man. People are sleeping on Sonic. I wouldn't put it above C tier, but that ice cream.
Yeah, I think C is fair for Sonic. Like I've had good food there, and it's definitely better than like everything else in D.
Tots aren't bad.
That's Domino, maybe.
All right, but like, what comes out to you that's so bad about this list? Because you were more upset, I think, about this list than I was. I was respecting some of the decisions.
So as like Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, like that's chilling, right? Popeyes and Five Guys. Oh,
Popeyes is fire. When you get the good food at Popeyes,
okay,
there's not
so
much other like fast food chicken.
I may need to like redo my criteria then, right? Because when I be thinking about a tier list and it's like I'm looking, I think about like everything about the place, right? When I think about Popeyes, I'm thinking about when I drive to Popeyes, because like you can't even Uber Eats it, right? Because the fucking drive-thrus are already fucked, so you might as well go yourself. So you go to Popeyes.
I've had a lot of good experiences.
Last time I went to Popeyes, I said I wanted a chicken sandwich, and they said they didn't have that.
Well, you know how many people were getting those chicken sandwiches, man? They probably sold out.
What are they famous for?
Chicken, man. But like at the same time, you gotta think about it.
Nah,
They got destroyed in the media when they were not being able to provide all those chicken sandwiches. But I understand that like when you get a shipment and stuff, you can't expect all those people to come in. People were like killing each other over those chicken sandwiches, bro. If I was a manager in one of those stores, I'd be throwing the chicken sandwiches out when they get there because I'm like, we don't have them. People just go. I'd put a sign way out front that said no chicken sandwiches, and nobody's even pulling up. I'd be chilling.
I waited just to be told they don't have chicken sandwiches.
Dude, that's screwed. They need to at least put up some signs. So Popeye's service, like if we're looking at that, like I wouldn't put them in S tier because like sometimes it can be a hassle to even order it online. Because like I remember one time I was trying to order Popeyes. I was trying to get the handcrafted tenders meal, right? Fire, right? Like 5 tenders, two side or like a side of biscuit for like $8, right? That's fire. Like that, you can't get a better deal anywhere, right? But it wouldn't let me pick a sauce. Like it wouldn't let me click on it, and so then I couldn't finish the order. So I don't know if that's a DoorDash thing or if it's a Popeyes thing that messed it up. But Popeyes be pissing me off sometimes. Like sometimes it's difficult to obtain. I think Raising Cane's belongs in S tier though.
I agree with that statement completely, dude. Dude, like
that is some good food.
When you're hungry as all right, hear me out. Especially after like if you're working out or just played a game, right? And you need like a good meal.
Yeah.
Like you go to Cane's.
We would go there
combo,
after Ultimate Frisbee games. After Ultimate Frisbee tournaments, like we play like 5 games in like 3 days, like run like 10 miles each, and I'd just be like, I'd be so hungry, and we hit up Raising Cane's, and I'd eat the whole box combo like quick.
Right, dude. And it's like at first it's like a box, and then you open it. It's kind of intimidating because it's got the 4 chicken strips or tenders, whatever the hell they are, and you can get like your. I never get coleslaw. I get an extra piece of toast.
Yeah,
so.
every time you gotta get
good sauce too. Good sauce. Cane's has good sauce, bro. Like it looks a little bit intimidating, and you just clap it. It literally is like.
Oh. That like the feeling afterwards too. It's like the perfect amount of food. You're never like bloated. Dude, I mean, sometimes I'd be bloated. I've never.
But you're never.
I've never tackled.
You're like I've ate enough.
Me personally, I've never tackled the Caniac combo alone, which I think is a 6-finger combo. I've never conquered it alone. I've never even
ordered that.
But I feel like I could if I didn't eat much that morning.
Then you'd feel like shit, dude.
And like I feel like I could. But I might try it at one point just to, just tackle the Caniac combo. I used to love Man vs. Food when I was a kid.
Podcast. We'll do Raising Cane's Caniac combos.
That's what I would love to do. I've always wanted to do some like food related content like
Should
that.
Should we expand the main stage cast? What would be the main stage equivalent of food? Like the
drive-through?
The drive-through.
We do like our own little like new overlay, and it's like me, and it's like we're like at the drive-through you're like at the drive-through window, and like I'm in the car window, and like we do like that kind
hard,
of
bro.
thing.
Hey,
the drive-through.
We may have to edit that out, bro. We don't want anyone to take that idea.
Oh shoot, yeah, I'll cut that. But nah, Kane should be S tier. I mean, maybe he hasn't had it.
In and out, I feel like
it's okay.
It's like good, but it's like if I lived near it, like I probably wouldn't go to it all the time, right? Like if I lived near one, I'd still probably go to McDonald's.
Have you ever had Whataburger?
Yeah, I have had Whataburger.
Do you think Whataburger is better than In-N-Out? Like I feel like they're, I don't know.
Okay, so
I've only had Whataburger once. Yeah.
I was in Austin. And it was this past summer, and it was like the first night I was there, and I was like super excited to like, I was like, oh, I'm trying to do Texas shit, and like my friends were like, let's get hammered and go to Whataburger, and that's like exactly what we did. And I just don't even remember what it tasted like, but I don't know if it would be like good enough to like go back there or not. Like I wish I had another experience with it. But
I remember when I had it.
They're supposed to be known for like their patty melt. Like, isn't that kind of awkward?
I mean,
people are like, you gotta get the patty melt. And I was like, dude,
good.
I'm getting a burger, like the hell.
Yeah, like I got a burger there, and it was pretty good. Like I just haven't had it enough that I feel like I could comfortably rate it.
Well, but I feel like that's like just like the In-N-Out's, like those kinds of places.
In-N-Out is not bad. Like I mean, it's cheap. Like the burger itself is pretty cheap. That if you get like a burger and a milkshake, because I don't think the fries there are very good. But like if you get a burger and a milkshake,
Papa John's.
Okay, that's what I really want to talk about. Is Papa John's. Like Papa John's, I'll say it.
Trash
sucks. remember those lands? Remember those lands at the Microsoft store when they would get Papa John's? Like, I mean, I appreciated it because it was free food. I wasn't expecting the free food.
Water, and I was like, dude, okay.
But I wouldn't pay for Papa John's.
Matches too, I would appreciate. Dude, like, I don't know about you, I get so hungry like in between matches. Like when we'd be like, dude, we'd finish a match, you'd be like, oh my god, like thank God we just like finish this fucking match. I'd like go like grab like 3 slices of pizza and be like, and like eat all the pizza, and then it's like I'd just be nervous. Like food just made me feel bad.
Papa John's and Pizza Hut are so low rated in my book that I would never order either of them. What's the point?
That's what I'm saying. Like Pizza Hut, like so what I think
would
should
order
be
Domino's
is, like,
personally, but I wouldn't order them.
But I think it should be like all the good food, and then there should be all the bad food. But in the middle of good and bad, put Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because Taco Bell either is good or bad. Like I think putting it in B is too nice.
I haven't had Taco Bell in a long time, but I found out that they're putting one of those cantinas near my apartment, like a block away. So hopefully it comes in. Very soon, because my lease is up at the end of July. So they got 4 months to put that Taco Bell in here. So I mean, they got 4 months to put that Taco Bell in there. So if they do that, I might be smacking on Taco Bell more than I thought. But like,
okay,
I got. But the thing is,
what do you think Salim's eating after a match though? Like after like a group match, what do you think he orders?
I mean, I bet he orders some Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. I mean, apparently he loves chicken tenders. Apparently he eats chicken tenders all the time. So like, I feel like if you want the best tenders you can get, you go to Cane's, because that's all they do. They just specialize in chicken tenders. Like they don't even give you like a chicken like the.
Bro, if you hosting for like friends or some shit, I mean, even if you were like just chilling with your team after, right? Because I'm assuming all the FaZe guys are near each other, they could get like a tailgate package and just get a bunch of tenders
Okay,
shipped.
how do you feel about Chipotle being on this list, and where do you think it would belong in your list?
You know,
Because I think it's
it's
good, but like it's not.
I love Chipotle, and I used to get it pretty often when I would go out to eat a lot. Like, you know,
Mhm.
I'd be like hungry, I'd be like, fuck it, like Chipotle, it fills you up. I think Chipotle, where it has its advantages, is like the online ordering system for Chipotle to go and just pick it up is like the best system, right? But from my experiences, when you go in and like order your burrito like right there, like I feel like they always mess one thing up or don't wrap it properly. When you do the online ordering, they make it in the back and they don't have to like rush it, and you get like double, you know, you get like extra on some things, and like they really like, because they don't have to worry about the food up front. Like when they're making the online order in the back and like all back there, they just like take your shit with food, because the upfront people are like being conservative because they're like, fuck, like there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
like,
I gotta go. Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. So when they make it in the back, it's like just elite. It's just built different. Like ordering
Chipotle's
online and
good,
picking up
man.
at Chipotle is just built different.
My thing is though, and I think about this for Taco Bell too. Well, not as much for Taco Bell, but like, so there's a Chipotle that I would have to like walk like 15 minutes to, or there's the Mexican place, Jamito's Burritos. Shout out Jamito's
Oh, that shit's
Burritos.
quite fire.
Right around the corner, like literally right around the corner. Take me a minute to walk there. Why would I go to Chipotle?
Facts.
So like,
I mean,
that's the thing. Like that's
a
what I think about
convenience
Chipotle. Like
It's
but
definitely
like
a
when it's
convenience
close
thing.
though, I love going to Chipotle.
Yeah.
After a workout, if you want to order food, that's some of the cleanest food you can get, because it's just chicken, rice, like beans. I always get the same thing. Oh, not the same thing usually, but I get the chicken, sour cream, and a bowl. This is all in a bowl, right? Chicken, sour cream, black beans, brown rice. No, you can't be not in this. I'll be getting the hot salsa. I'm getting the cheese if I'm feeling it. The cheese if I'm feeling it.
If you're feeling it.
I'm not always feeling cheese. You know, sometimes you don't want a lot of cheese because it's a lot of cheese. And then I get the lettuce, and sometimes I get the corn too. So like, I mean, I switch it up with the ingredients, but I always get that chicken bowl.
I get a burrito, double wrapped, carnitas, white rice extra, pinto beans extra, cheese, and light romaine lettuce. That's like, it's pretty simple. You know, sometimes I'll add corn in there, but like sometimes I don't feel like shitting out corn. But like, that's how I be rocking at Chipotle.
I feel that.
Shout out Chipotle.
Chipotle's good.
I'm gonna watch their Fortnite tournament today and try to win some quesadillas.
Okay.
I'm not lying. I'm literally after we're done. I'm gonna see.
All right, but before we end the show, let's get into the meat of this, right? Which is the B and the C tier. Wendy's,
dude, this shit's chalked.
is getting disrespected here. Jimmy John's is okay. Taco Bell.
I thought you were about to, yo, nah. Hey, everybody's got to go follow at NR Burleson on Twitter, or N Burleson. What is it?
In Burleson, they got it. They can see it on here, but yeah.
N Burleson at N Burleson, because he had a controversial tweet about sandwich shops earlier.
I did.
Hey, if you want to continue that conversation, go over to Twitter. But I feel like Wendy's did get disrespected because service has always been great, right?
They're always there. They're open at convenient times.
Listen. When you go into a Wendy's, what do they have that other places don't?
What?
They've got the Coke machine that lets you do anything.
Yeah.
You go into a Wendy's and you go in there getting grape Coke, like grape Sprite, like
that's my thing. Like, I don't really drink soda, so that doesn't like make like a big effect.
Well, neither
for me,
do I. But like, if I'm going to Wendy's, you know, you got the option. It's like if you're going to Wendy's, you might as well.
No, that's fair. Like, I feel like you can't rate McDonald's that much higher than Wendy's. Like, McDonald's is okay, but like Wendy's, like food, I think is better.
I would disagree. I think it depends on what you're like. If you were gonna go to McDonald's, what do you think you would get?
I mean, I just get some shit off the dollar menu, man. Like, I get some nuggets, and I think the nuggets at Wendy's are better than the nuggets at McDonald's. Like,
ooh, see, that's what, like, because I just think, like, the fries and nuggets and burgers, like, all of it just tastes better when it's from McDonald's to me. Like, not like it's bad from Wendy's. Like, I think
fries at McDonald's are a lot better than they're better than the fries. I just don't go to McDonald's that much, man. Like, I can't remember the last time I went to McDonald's. Like, because here's the thing, like, I would rather go to Wendy's, and like I used to work at a movie theater, and I would get off on like weeknights at like 11:30, like midnight, something like that.
4 is a perfect snack.
And exactly, but the biggie bag, man. You get the biggie bag.
Oh, the biggie
bag. That's a deal and a half. Yeah, McDonald's can't. That's like a good McDonald's doesn't contest. McDonald's does not contest in that category. But you get that biggie bag, that 4 for $4.
Good deals, but it's not. all the time. Like
That's
the
the
thing
problem.
is,
I will.
McDonald's deals are very seasonal. Like when they do like the 2 for $5, or like they got, like
Right.
the basket of fries. Like it's not all the time, which is unfortunate because you could go to Wendy's like any day any time of the day and just go get a 4 for $4 and it's like perfect.
The 4 for $4, the biggie bag is why I probably would put Wendy's in my own. Like if I have it, I
Yeah.
couldn't find this list. Like my original idea was like to find this exact list and make my own. Like, but I didn't want to go. I couldn't find it, and like all the other ones had like 30 other fast food places I'd never
Yeah.
heard of. But like, I mean, I would say my thing to sell him is that you gotta look at Wendy's through a new lens. You gotta look at you gotta go and get yourself some Jersey Mike's so you can properly rate it. And then,
I agree.
man, you're sleeping
I
a little
think-
bit
I
on
think
Canes.
the-
I feel like he
the
probably fucks with Canes a lot and would put it in his S tier, but he was like, dang, I already have 4 in my S tier, so I don't know if I can
Yeah,
add it.
right.
But man, Canes got to be in your S tier, man.
But
Like,
I just
if
think
you
I
appreciate
think it's
Popeyes,
weird,
you
like,
gotta appreciate Canes at the same level
the
because
C
it's better.
tier is just all this like cheap, disgusting food.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, like that's like Burger King.
Like you might as
man.
well move everything from C
Bro,
into
you can
D
get
and then just
you
move
can get like
Domino's
10
up.
nuggets for like $1.40. That is
Dude, there's no way those are real.
disgusting. That is
not
just
real at all.
nasty.
It's like the fakest meat of all time.
And their commercials are always so weird. They're like, we got some of the biggest fast food influencers to come and like rate our food, and the guy was like, I got 2 Whoppers. Holy shit, bro, dude. Like a Whopper? That sounds disgusting. And here's the thing: if you can go to Burger King, you can probably go to McDonald's or Wendy's, and it wouldn't add too much to your drive. Depending on like wherever you live, like if you live in like a metropolitan area, or you live in like the suburbs, or you live in like kind of even the outside of the suburbs, or even if you live in like a small rural like town near near the highway, you can find a Burger King, you can find a McDonald's. So why would you go to Burger King, man?
Dude, that's what
There's
I'm saying.
nothing
It's
worth
like,
it.
Okay, listen.
Remember
listen,
the Red
listen.
Velvet Shake though? That slapped.
Okay, that
That
was like
slapped.
the last time I went there.
I will give them that. I
Like,
will give them
that was
that.
the last time
Someone was having a good day when he came up with that idea. Like someone was having
yeah.
a Shakespeare-esque
So
day,
the
man.
Burger King and Wendy's that are closest to me, right? It's like on First Ave in Ogden, this one corner. On this side, it's like the Burger King, and on this side, it's the Wendy's. So why the fuck would I not go to the Wendy's?
Right,
Like,
there's
you
never
can
a
literally
point,
put
man.
anything next to a Burger King,
Yeah,
and
there-
people will pick that over the Burger King.
I remember one time I was at a friend's place and we drove past the Burger King up a block to the Wendy's because the Wendy's was right there. Like we can go and get the Wendy's. There's no point in getting Burger King. Like I would probably put Burger King in my D tier just because like why get Burger King? It's just like they've fallen off too. Like it used to
Yeah.
be like a kind of contest with McDonald's, but then I think McDonald's kind of just kept the pressure going, you know, and they ended up just kind of pushing Burger King out of the game. They got to find a new slant because they're not the Burger King anymore.
It's true.
Boom.
We're not.
Mic drop.
All right. We've been going for a bit, so before we end, I think we should just run through our predictions for
Yes.
the next weekend. So why don't you start us off if you got them up?
Yeah. So my current predictions I got going into the LAG home series. I got Dallas in a 3-1 over Florida, and then I got OpTic in a 3-1 over Seattle on the first day. How do you feel about that?
As the CDL specialist, I say Empire over Florida 3-0 and OpTic 3-2 over Surge.
Okay, I like
think-
that. I like the
I
game
think
5.
I think Empire, it's like that's kind of a no-brainer, but
Mm-hmm.
OpTic, I'm just nervous as an OpTic fan, so I'm being safe.
Mhm.
But I still
Yeah,
feel
give them
like
a
this is
3-2.
going to be like a 3-0
Well,
for
like,
Surge somehow.
I'd be a little nervous because like I feel like OpTic needs to kind of close it out before they go to a map 5.
I mean,
Depends on the map, right? Like it just
if
be
they get like a good search map, then they should be chilling.
Like I
But
just don't like checkmate. Like anything goes, you know. Like
you know what? Center Troy Michaels will he'll get the vetoes right. It'll be chum. It'll be chum.
So
Alright, what you
I
got?
got London 3-2 over Toronto. I feel like it'd be just an interesting series.
3-2.
Yeah, and then I got FaZe in the 3-1 over LAG. I think LAG surprise them and take like a control or something like that. You know, LAG just kind of come out with a little bit of fire, but you know, FaZe are just so good right now, so I can't bet against them.
If there was like two teams that I had the least faith in, it would probably be LAG and the Ultra right now. So I went 3-0 for both of them for London and Atlanta. I honestly really enjoy London. Like I think it's cool that they went from like being the worst team to like, you know, PaulEhx comes and everyone's
Right.
talking about them and excited. Like I love that for them. So I'm cheering. I'm a fan.
Yeah, 2-1, and they play. If they can beat Toronto, they pretty much they secure being in the top I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they win, because did they? They ended up losing to the Thieves though, so I mean that will be kind of interesting to see what happens there. But like, Toronto could be up there. London could kind of secure their spot up there. But I mean, we'll see. Like that'll be a tough group to watch. But then I got Florida 3-2 over Paris. I think Paris is just kind of playing right now, and Florida's a little bit more on their game. Minnesota 3-1 over Surge, and then I got Subliners 3-0 over Toronto in the Game Fuel Marquee matchup.
Yeah, I got 3-0 Florida, 3-2 Surge. I'm going with like the just curveball, dude. I think Surge is taking that. I think Surge is taking that, man.
The wheels kind of have to come off Minnesota at one point. They're not gonna, they probably won't smoke all these teams. I mean, yeah, this is a good matchup though. I feel like that'll be very entertaining.
I mean, and I think for Seattle there will just be a lot on the line, right? Like depending on how the OpTic match goes, and then they're really playing for like that winners. Like they're trying to just be in the money this time, right? I don't think Seattle's like ever been in the money before. Like it would probably be the best Seattle's ever placed at a tournament.
No, yeah. I mean, if Seattle can like secure their spot in the like top bracket, they'll be happy because they just made nothing off the last major. So like, even just winning a series from there, like that's like tens of thousands of dollars that you wouldn't have made and that you didn't make, and they got to kind of make it back over time. So I like that. And sorry, did you say your Subliners versus Toronto prediction?
Oh, did I? Oh shit, I didn't. Subliners 3-0.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. I mean, double points. I'm fucking hoping I get these double points.
Yeah, hey, last Saturday I got every matchup, every match.
I was looking at the total leaderboard, but I ain't that far behind the guy in first place. So.
Well, what's the guy in first place?
I have no clue.
Let me see, because there's a guy with 48 as the top for so far, and I'm at 39, but I'm also
I'm
ranked
at 35.
Right, but I'm ranked 794th. So like,
damn.
I don't know. Let's see.
I have to have people you have to beat out first.
Yeah, I need to put out a great weekend. So I mean, I might actually have to switch these up later and get some good some different map counts, some weird things. But then Sunday, I mean, FaZe take care of their business 3-0 over London. LA Thieves, I think in the Battle of LA, they kind of proved themselves a little bit more. They come out with the 3-0. And then I got Dallas in a 3-2 over OpTic because I think OpTic is just struggling right now, and Dallas beating them would be very entertaining. Let's just say, especially if that match is for first place in the group or top 3 in the group.
I hit him with the FaZe 3-0. Just like genuinely don't see FaZe just like really losing at all. I lied. I might actually have less faith in LA Thieves right now than I do in LAG because I put 3-2 LAG. So I think that like the Thieves, like regardless of what happens in that match, like I won't be surprised. But like if I'm the Thieves, like you got to step it up. You're not playing as good as you should be. And then I just went out on a prayer. 3-0 OpTic.
Maybe.
That's all I gotta say.
If they come out swinging and respawn, I feel like they could really just figure it out. But I mean, Dallas also has not been as good at search as we thought they might have been. So it could go. It could kind of go either way. It could go either way. So I mean, I think this is gonna have a fun weekend. Like we don't really know what's gonna happen in the standings, like anywhere other than FaZe locking up like first place probably. But other than that, like anything goes. It's gonna be a fun weekend of COD. I'm excited.
I mean, I'll definitely be watching. I'm looking forward to this next major. So, I mean, I feel like this last weekend, we didn't get this experience last time because we had Super Week. But, like, now we're going into this weekend, like, wow, like, these matches actually matter for the seeding for the major. So
exactly. There's more stakes. There's more stakes. So I think it's entertaining. It's going to be great weather this weekend. So, I mean, I'm going to be trying to get out, play some disc golf or something like that. But, I'll still make the time to watch some COD. Disc golf in the morning, COD in the afternoon. Sounds like a good life.
It doesn't start till 2.
Yeah, we're going to be fine.
Got it.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have today. I mean, we kind of went a little bit long on the tier list, but I mean, that kind of got me fired up.
We didn't even talk about COD the whole time, but who cares,
Yeah, it got me a little fired up. I got a little excited about that combo, but yeah. So, I mean, thank you everybody for listening. We'll be back next week. This is more action. This is the Main Stage Cast signing off. Peace.